All right, we are back. We are ready to go hunt our Gorm. Well, I hope we're ready. uh, lock in, lock in. We got this. Road to redemption. All right, I'm actually terrified of this hunt phase. The first hunt phase in the game is always so hard. But let's do it. Let's kick it off. So, reminder coming along, we have our survivors from the prologue, Priscilla, who's basically got nothing going for her just yet, and Sonya, who is coming equipped with some bone darts. We have our meat shield in Larry, who's got his full set of rawhide, no weapon, and our first new baby of the settlement, Rhonda, who is fist and toothing it. She has a natural +1 luck, so that means she's going to be critting on 8s. That is going to be huge. We need that. If she can hit, unfortunately, because if you recall from previous streams, when you're fighting the Gorm, you do not want to be in the blind spot. You want to be on its flanks. So we're going to hope for the best on that. But let's kick off our hunt phase. Let's see who is going first. With a 4, that's going to be Rhonda. So Rhonda, step on up. Oh, we've got our special Gorm hunt. Oh, no, that's right. Gorm, you start off with the Gorm hunt events. I'm used to the White Lion and other hunts where the first one is a random hunt event. All good. So, Morning Bull. You approach the fresh corpse of a Gorm. The survivors must choose to steer clear or go near. Steer clear. The survivors hear a mournful cry rising at their backs. Each suffer 3 brain event damage. That sucks. Or go near. Another Gorm charges out of the darkness, wailing mournfully. The survivors are ambushed. Starts to immediately. Gorm gains +1 damage token. All right, so I think the 3 brain damage is better than dealing with a +1 damage Gorm on Lantern Year 1. So that's just going to mark that. Event damage, so you don't have to roll on any tables, but that means what little bit of insanity we were able to gain is gone. And for anybody who missed the first video for the prologue, my overlays aren't working tonight, so we're doing it old school with the character sheets. All right, otherwise, yeah, nothing else to worry about there, which brings us around to Priscilla. Head-splitting pain. An approaching flash of light causes terrible convulsions. Move the Gorm 1 space closer. Okay. So if it moves into the survivor's space, they're ambushed. Not that. Otherwise, each survivor rolls on the table, add their number of disorders to their result. All right, so Larry's going to add a +1. Other than that, we will start with Priscilla, since she's the one who started this. With a 6, gain a random disorder. Okay. She gains absent seizures. That's the same one Larry has. Making sure that actually shuffled properly. Next up, we will roll for Larry himself, so he gets a +1 with an 11. So I'm going to assume this is a misprint because 8 to 10 is this, and then 13 plus is this. Does that mean 11 is nothing? Normally, I would make a ruling at the time and look it up later, but I think this is kind of important. Let's make a quick consultation of the Discord, because it looks like this is actually just nothing. Okay, so official ruling from Team Death is that it should be 8 to 12, not 8 to 10. Glad we looked that up. So this would be this one. Shielding your eyes, you struggle to regain control, reduce your insanity to 0. Joke's on you. My insanity is already 0. All right. Sonya with a 5, gain a random disorder. Fear of the Dark. This one sucks, if I remember correctly. Yep. You cannot bear the oppressive darkness any longer. You retire. So this is going to be it for Sonya. If you gain this disorder during a hunt or showdown, you put on a brave face until you return to the settlement, vowing to never leave the Lantern Horde again. And then finally, Rhonda. Rhonda, please roll good. I need you. Random disorder. Ghostly Beauty. Double all insanity you gain, double all survival you spend. It's unfortunate, but I think we can live with that. Yes, horrors beyond all mortal comprehension within my lifetime. All right, and then since the Gorm moved closer, there's nothing else on this card, right? Nope. That means that Larry will just trigger the Showdown. All right, that could have gone worse. I'll take it. Set up Showdown, level 1. All right, cool. We've got some grass out here. I'll take that. Insect patch. All right. Let me just make sure I'm not screwing this up again. All right. So yeah, these two have to be there. The other two we can put wherever. So we'll probably do that as tactically as possible by putting one here and putting one here. The insect patch. Just set up adjacent to the monster, and this is just from all other tall grass, not all other. All right, so that's probably fine, except we don't want to set ourselves up here. It's a diamond pattern, right? Okay. So Larry, front and center, that's your job. I think that's probably what we want. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Actually, I will put Sonya on this side because I want him to go for that bug patch. Nothing special about a level 1 Gorm, so we're just going to get right into it. Let's start us off. Oh, what is the Gorm stats? Again, I don't have my overlay, so I gotta pay attention to what the stats are. 8 toughness, not 9. Okay, 8 toughness we can deal with. Yep, 6 movement, 11 wounds. We got this. We got this. How bad is Illuminate again? Illuminate's probably fine. All right, starting off. Backslap, closest threat facing in range. That's anybody, so it's gonna be Larry. Move the Gorm so the target is in the monster's blind spot. speed 1, accuracy 2. So that is going to be 4 because Larry has +1 natural evasion as well as +1 evasion from the rawhide vest. Handled all this stuff. Yeah, nothing I'm forgetting. Okay. So, yep. 1 speed, hitting on a 4. Does hit. It would be 1 damage. Knockback 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. He can get back in. All right, yeah, we'll probably take that. To the waist. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he slides along the board edge since he was already at the board edge. And then turn to face the target. Do we turn him this way or this way? I think this way is the more fair. Okay. I'm okay with that. So we will start off. Again, I know you don't want to be behind him, but you probably also don't want to be in front of him. So we're probably going to start with Priscilla. Moving Priscilla here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We'll probably put Larry here. And then, okay, so we'll put Priscilla here, and we'll put Rhonda over there. All right, as for Priscilla, just using her Founding Stone. Nothing too special. Gets 1 hit. Super Dense. I forgot he has Super Dense. That's not going to matter. Oh, it is going to matter for the Bone Darts. But I don't think he has too many of these. And am I remembering correctly? I think that's just on certain hit locations. All right, so nothing special going on here. She has strength 1 on her weapon, so she needs a 7 to wound. And she will, because Priscilla's a rock star. Good job, girl. Which next will be Rhonda. Again, I would love to have her in the blind spot, but it's too risky against the Gorm. So she's hitting on 8s. Not quite going to do it. Sonya is actually going to come pick this bug patch. With a 10, he will get a random vermin. Should have that out. Yep. He gets a nightmare tick. Ugh. So a 30% chance of dying, 50% chance of gaining a permanent +1 evasion. That'd probably be worth it at some point. Give it to somebody new who hasn't done anything yet. Have lifetime rerolls. Yeah. We're not going to use it yet, but we'll probably use it this settlement phase. And then finally, Larry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to remember. Trying to remember how he typically targets. I haven't fought since I took that long break. I've forgotten how to fight the Gorm. Yeah, we want to leave him there. So Larry looking for those 7s as well. 2 hits. Good job, buddy. That's not great. And we are not attacking from the flank, but there's nothing negative on here, so we'll start with this one. Again, looking for a 7. No, Nothing happening. Ugh, that sucks. That was almost a wound. All right, basic action. That is 2 hits. Body and legs. Oh, man, not having weapons just sucks. All right, that is everybody. So back to the Gorm. Hiccup. All right, this is one that I got so wrong the first time, but I think I remember how to do this one now. Furthest survivor in range is going to be Sonya. Roll a d10 for each adjacent survivor. On a roll of 4 plus, the survivor is knocked down. Ugh. All right, Rhonda. Knocked down. Priscilla. Not knocked down. Larry. Knocked down. All right, perform Wretch. We get to do the cool thing. Blah! Suffer 1 damage to a random hit location that ignores armor. So that is a wound straight to his body. And then place his card on top of the AI deck. Yeah, that's where I was confused the first time I saw this thing, because it targets the furthest survivor, but then it doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't turn, because turning is part of the movement, and he's not moving. It's a real weird card. So that brings us back around to our turn. So first, oh. Unfortunately, Priscilla and Sonya don't have any survival, so they can't stand anybody up. So we're just gonna have to do our best. Priscilla, slide back a little. No hits. Sonya, just to be safe, step there. Throw your dart. So hitting on a 7. Hits. All right. We are not attacking from the flank. We are at range. But this thing does hit like a truck, so we need a 6 to wound. No, a 5. Forgot about Sonya's natural strength. That is a wound. So Hiccup is gone. But that's it. That's everybody's turn. So we've got a body check. Random survivor in range. Oh boy, I really hope it's Priscilla, because if it's Sonya, Rhonda's going to get run over. So odds it's Sonya, evens it's Priscilla. It's Priscilla. Cool. So move and attack. So he's just going to turn that way. This will hit on a 3. It'll hit. 1 damage to her legs. Bash and knock back 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. All right, I'll take that. That means Larry and Rhonda do both stand up, though. So let's have Larry stand up Priscilla. See if he gets that survival back. He does not. That's unfortunate. All right. I think the first thing we do is we bring Rhonda around this way. Just trying to think. Is it worth putting Rhonda in the blind spots? Because if she gets hit by Wretch, she'll take 1 damage, knockback, and knockdown. Is that worth the +1 accuracy? Not yet. I'm going to say not yet, but we're going to keep that in our pocket. Would have been 2 hits if I'd done that, but I'll take 1 hit. All right, no strength. So she'll need a 9 to wound, but she's critting on an 8. Oh, man. Poor Sonya is going to be in the danger zone, but it is what it is. So we need that. Yeah, so 8 or higher is a crit. Anything else is a fail. So that's fine, because if we crit, we'll cancel this. So Sonya is perfectly safe. And we get the crit! All right. So let's do our wound. Persistent injury, lame. At the start of each monster turn, roll a d10 on a 9+ the Gorm is knocked down. Chat. Do not let me forget this one. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on top so I cannot forget. Okay. Next. There was nothing else happening there, right? That was this one, sorry. Yeah, nothing else happening there. We're going to move Sonya out of the way a bit. To here. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's still in range. Sonya will hit. Nothing special here. So just looking for that 5. Very close. Very close. Then we'll bring in Priscilla. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can get her into range. Not a great spot, but better than nothing. With a hit. And she is wounding on 8. 7. Wounding on 7. That's a fail. That's not particularly great for a number of reasons. That is 2 hits. Hand and body. Okay. Well, Larry, let's just make sure you're here. Got a hit. Oh, God. Actually dealing a wound would be catastrophic right now. Not catastrophic, but would be pretty bad. But he is wounding on a 7. All right, well, we did deal a wound. Can't be too upset. But he's going to retch. All right, so that's 1 collision damage to Rhonda. To her waist. That's honestly perfect. I'll take that. And then 1 straight damage to Priscilla. To her legs. That will knock her down, unfortunately. And for Larry, to his body. Are you kidding me? All right. That's going to knock him down as well. All right. Gorm's turn. Not going to forget this. So roll a d10. No. Okay. Wallop. Closest threat in field of view and range. Well, literally the only threat is Sonya. And I just moved Sonya out of the grass, too. It's okay. Sonya hasn't taken any damage yet, I don't think. Yeah, Sonya's good. Body and head. Well, Sonya was good. But that does mean everybody else does get up, thankfully. And we're back around to the survivor's turn. Put this back here so I don't forget it again. Actually, I'll just leave it right there. I'll remember it if it's here, right? All right, how do we want to position ourselves? Let's let Rhonda get here. Nothing. Priscilla can go here with a hit. So again, wounding on a 7. No wound. Turn the Gorm to face the opposite board edge and full... Gosh, darn it. Alright, well, Rhonda gets chucked back, knocked down again. Another damage to her hands. It's okay. That means Larry can't really do anything, but he can Rawhide Headband, and that's definitely the play here. So let's draw the top 2 off the AI deck and put them back in any order. We've got Strobe. Strobe would be bad, because that's going to be a lot of brain trauma rolls. Or Scratch, which we can work with that. Okay, so definitely going to do Scratch. And then Larry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to make sure he is the target. Actually, if I put him here, he'll still be the target. And get the extra evasion. It's +2 evasion for standing in grass. SMRT, I am so smart. And that's our turn. So we've got Scratch. Closest threat facing in range is nobody. Closest threat in field of view would be either Priscilla or Larry. So it's absolutely going to be Larry. 1 speed, hitting on 6. Yes. Of course you would. Trying to think if we dodge this. Nah. I think we have to dodge this one. Yeah. Let's see if we get that survival back. No. All right. Well, you did your best, Larry. Actually, Larry, you should be at 3, right? Yeah, you should have been at 3, not 2. Larry, you're good. Yes, he started at 2. You should have started at 3. because he's only used the 1 encourage and that dodge. All right, we're good. We'll take that. We'll stand up again. All right. Not great positioning. You know what, Rhonda? Let's get you into that blind spot. Let's do it. Chat. Chat, you let me forget. All right, well, let's see if that happens. It wouldn't have happened anyway. Okay. Rhonda. So now she'll be hitting on 7s. Not that it mattered. All right, Priscilla. No, I want you here. Nope. Sonia, take a few steps back. Nope. All right, we're doing great, team. Larry, you stay right there, sir. Got a hit. Now, death blow is not going to happen here. Ooh. Well, too late. I can't take it back now because I should have used the headband to put strobe down. But it's too late. I already rolled. Just got a wound. We just need a 7. That sucks. I'm an idiot. All right, well, only other thing to do is to hope we roll a 9 here, or we're in big trouble. Well, not actually. We've actually positioned ourselves perfectly. I'll take it. 4. All right. So we will draw strobe. Turn to face the most survivors. So no matter what direction we face, we're only going to be facing 1 survivor. And our boy Larry does have absent seizures. So the first time he would suffer a brain trauma, he's instead knocked down and forgets a fighting art. Doesn't have any fighting arts to forget, so he's only going to suffer the knockdown. I'm a genius. Roll 1d10 for each target. On a 3+, didn't even matter. Didn't even matter. See, I spent all that time coming up with that perfect plan. Didn't even matter. Turn the Gorm to face the opposite board edge. All right, so we're going to have to do a little bit of shuffling here on this next turn. We'll start by moving. We're gonna do a little end around here. Yeah, we'll put Rhonda here, actually. With a hit. So again, strength is irrelevant. Critting on an 8 or higher. Didn't do it that time. Basic action on Priscilla. Or, I'm sorry, on Rhonda. Rhonda's taken a bit of a beating. I'm not crazy about this. 2 hits. Body and hands. So she will be knocked down from the heavy wound. That lets us get Priscilla over here. With 1 hit. we're getting close here. Again, wounding on a 7. Oh, wretch would be a terrible. All right, I'm actually not upset about that. A wretch would have been a problem. Sonya, are you in range here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are. With a hit. And again, 3, 4. So he's wounding on a 5. That's a 5. We've reached the bottom of the deck. That's progress. Nothing else happening here. And then Larry, we will have you attack first and then move, I believe. So take your swing with a hit. And that's a wound. I'll take it. That's not great, but... there's definitely worse results. So Gorm is going to shoot off in this direction again. Running over Priscilla. She actually won't take damage from that. She'll just be knocked down. So that's how collision works. Let us consult the glossary. I think I might have taken an extra damage earlier when I didn't need to. Yeah, so when a survivor suffers collision, they are knocked down. If a monster moves through a space occupied by a survivor, they collide and the survivor suffers collision. Monster ends, that's when they're knocked back and take the damage. The reason I keep confusing that is because the Screaming Antelope has a rule where even if he runs completely over you, you still take the damage. And I fought the Screaming Antelope enough times that that rule is just kind of burned into my brain. All right, so that's not bad at all then. But the smart thing to do is then to move Larry here. Because Larry's almost definitely going to be the target of whatever happens. Actually, we'll move him there. And if he's still back here, that means the Gorb is just going to run people over to get to him. All right, that's our turn. So we've got this again. Not quite. Draw our card. Body check. Random survivor in range. So all that was... well, actually, no, that still would have been terrible. So with a 1, that is Priscilla, who is this one, right? Yes. All right, that's all right. So he's just going to clomp on over here. And miss! Ha-ha! Cool. Yep, everybody stands up again. All right, Priscilla, let's get you over here. With a hit. God, we have to be getting close to that. That's a failure, unfortunately. So that's a wretch, but I think Larry might be in the splash zone. Nope, but Rhonda is. So Rhonda will take 1 straight to the waist. That's okay. Rhonda, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go on, get in there. Nope. Honestly, that's probably for the best. I don't remember. I I'm actually not crazy about this positioning now that I think about it. Sonya, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you in range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are. Doesn't matter. Larry, you know what your job is. 1 hit. Oh my god. Still haven't drawn that trap. Nothing happening. Okay. So that was kind of a do-nothing round, and I'm not crazy about our current positioning, but it is what it is. So what we're going to do, first of all, see if this happens. It does not. Wallop. That is absolutely going to be Larry. With only 1 hit, so 1 damage to his body, which he is absolutely going to dodge. Actually, he doesn't need to dodge. He has the armor. So we'll actually absorb that. So I saw the 2 wounds, and I forgot both of those wounds were from Wretch. So we're good. We're good. All right. How do I get myself out of this weird little predicament? Because if he retches right now, I'm in danger. So I think Priscilla just needs to punt this turn. Which one's Priscilla? Her. Yeah, Priscilla's not going to take an attack this turn. I don't have a good safe place to move her, unfortunately. So actually it's Rhonda. Rhonda's going to take this turn off until I can get this positioning a little better. Rhonda is just going to step back. Because if he retches, we can have him jump back that way. And we're safe. I think that's the smart play. I wish I could see how many cards are left in here. I think there's a button to do that, but I don't remember the button. Well, actually, I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Don't remember what his trap does is the problem. I don't think he moves. All right, whatever. Let's do it. Let's just see what happens. Priscilla. 1 hit. There it is. Well, we're going to find out. Full move the Gorm towards the attacker. Done. If the monster ends movement adjacent to the attacker, the Gorm headbutts them with its enormous skull as its lore dances frantically atop its head. Suffer 1 damage to the head location. Ouch. Turn the monster to face the most survivors, which is this way or this way. And it's either. Rhonda also has... No, that's Ghostly Beauty. Was it Priscilla? Priscilla had that. All right, well, it doesn't help. So the smart thing to do is to go this way. So he's facing Larry and Sonya. Each survivor the monster is facing is knocked down and suffers 1 brain damage. It still gives us terrible positioning. But it is what it is. So 1 brain damage that would trigger, again, brain trauma. Or did we already do that? Oh, no, it actually didn't. No, we didn't need to do that because it only rolled like a 2 or whatever. So this will trigger absent seizures. So Larry will just be knocked down. He's already knocked down. Unfortunately, Sonya will suffer a brain trauma. With a 10. Okay, Frenzy. We know what Frenzy does. 1 speed, 1 strength, 1d5 insanity. So we'll get 4 insanity. All right, Sonya. Why does that keep happening? There we go. 1 speed, 1 strength. Still got those handy from before. All right, we just gotta make it. And then now, okay, yeah, we knew that was coming. I just could not remember for the life of me what that trap did. Okay. And yeah, that's it, because Rhonda just took her turn to back up. All right, let's not forget this. Doesn't matter. I'm actually a little worried about what this card could be. Strobe. Yeah, I knew it. I'm still going to keep it this way because yeah, Sonya has insanity now, and if Larry takes some problems, that's fine. I'm okay with that. So Sonya will just lose an insanity, and now Larry will have to roll on the table. With a 6, danger seizure. You thrash about wildly, dealing 1 damage to yourself, every adjacent survivor, gain a random disorder, and 1d5 insanity. Okay. So that is a whole 1 insanity. That's actually not too bad. 1 damage to his waist, and a random disorder. Yeah, I had a feeling this was the only time Larry was coming out, but Rageaholic, when you suffer a severe injury, you also suffer frenzy. Okay. We can work with that, actually. That's the monster's turn, which now, thankfully, means everybody gets to stand up. Oh, also, and then he faces away, right? Yeah. I hate having the Gorm trapped in a corner. It leaves me with so little options. So I think we bring Larry around first. With 2 hits, Larry. All right. All right. Nothing bad here, so we're going to start here. Is that a 9? I'm calling that a 9. I'm taking that hit. Okay. And then a 7. Awesome. Larry, you're... I'm sorry I ever said a bad thing about you. All right, next up... I think Priscilla should be next, because she's the most in danger. With a hit. Oh, that was almost a crit. All right. Priscilla, you're not doing too great, girl. You're probably gonna take some stuff here. 2 hits. Waist and hands. All right. Oh, nope, that's fine. She still has her waist armor somehow. But she is knocked down again. Okay. How many do we have left? 1, 2. So we got to do 3 wounds, which is possible. All right, well, let's start with Sonya. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still in range. He's throwing 2 darts now. Not that it matters. Okay, so it's not worth putting Rhonda into too much danger. So we'll just bring her here. With a hit. And again, with Rhonda, 8 or higher is all that matters. That's a fail. Turn the Gorm to opposite board edge and full move forward in a straight line. Okay, so he would go that way, but he's already there, so he's actually going to go this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which does knock down Larry, but that's okay. Because we definitely didn't want to have it land on Priscilla. Priscilla's taken enough of a beating. But that's all we got. All right, give me a 9. Just give me that 9. All right, what do we got? Body check. Random survivor in range. Oh boy. All right, if it's anybody but Priscilla, we're okay. And even Priscilla wouldn't be terrible. Yeah, Priscilla would be fine too. But it is 2, which is Larry. So just boop. Right back here. That does hit. Larry can still dodge if he needs to. But that's to his hands. We'll take that. That's a 1. Bash and knock back 7. So he's just going to scoot back here. Already knocked down. That's okay. Because he's going to get up anyway. Stop at the board edge. Yeah, we're good. I'm okay with that. All right, everybody stands up. All right, let's finish this guy, huh? Okay. So Sonya's gonna step back a bit. He can't get into the grass, unfortunately. Come on, show off all that new strength, Sonya. Come on, dude. Needed 7s. All right, and now we start going for it. Rhonda. You can't get into the blind spot anyway. Okay, well, maybe next turn, Rhonda. With a hit, though. Super dense, cool. So I'm actually glad Sonya missed. With a crit. Oh, this is big. This is big. Okay. Gorm howls in pain and is knocked down. So knocked down means you will hit on a 3+, and all reactions are canceled. And we only need to deal 2 more wounds, so we are going for it. I think that's really the only place Priscilla can go. Yep, and oh, we can do this. We can do this. 2 hits. We can't do this. Ah. All right. God. So the trap means he stands up. That sucks. All right, 1 damage to the head. That's a severe injury for our girl. Uh, 4 would kill her, so she's going to use her lifetime reroll. Look at how much damage Priscilla has taken. 5 is better than a 4. Intracranial hemorrhage. You can no longer use or gain any survival. That's fine. Injury is permanent. Gain a bleeding token. Okay, well, Priscilla, that was nice, but you're pretty much retired. But you're still alive. And then there's more to do. Face the most survivors. We're going to go this way, I think. No, because Priscilla still has the seizure thing, and I don't want to risk Rhonda. It's going to be another brain trauma roll for Larry, but it is what it is. She will just be knocked down and forget a fighting art that she doesn't have. And then we'll just roll for Larry's brain trauma. I get bots every now and then. 6, okay. Danger seizure, 1 damage. Oh, no. He had insanity. I forgot. He gained an insanity last time. We're good. We're good. We did it. And then he's just knocked down anyway, though, right? Yeah. All right, well, guess Larry won't be attacking this round. And that's every... Oh, man, we were so close to being able to finishing him off there. Okay. If there was ever a time for this to trigger, it's now. No. I think body check is all we got left. Yeah. Random survivor. A 1. Of course it's Priscilla. Why wouldn't it be Priscilla? So you just stand right here. That's a hit. To her waist, where she has room. And bam. Okay. But that's it. Not a bad turn. We'll stand up again. All right. Can we finish this guy? All right, we'll start with Sonya. My guy, that's 4 6s in a row. Are you kidding me? Saving Rhonda. Saving Rhonda. Nothing. That is a hit from Larry. Unfortunate, but I'll survive probably. That is a wound. So he will retch. Which is why we didn't use Rhonda yet, but that's some damage. So for Larry, it's to his waist, that's fine. Rhonda does not have a lot of, or I'm sorry, Priscilla does not have a lot of room left on her sheet. Her head. Okay, Rhonda. Or Priscilla. Ugh, I'm messing up my names. Without my overlays, I don't know who these people are. All right, Priscilla. This might be it for her, honestly. Yeah. She fought valiantly, but she just couldn't take that much of a beating, unfortunately. But that does mean she generates 2 endeavors for us. And all that's left is Rhonda. We just need 1 wound. Rhonda, get in that blind spot and get it done. Or not. You know, you gave it your best effort. That's all that matters. I mean, we're down to basic action, so we should be okay. Let's see if we can just knock the monster over, though. Every time. All right, so basic action. Closest threat facing in range is Larry, as designed. Only 1 hit to his hands. He can take that. And that's that. We're gonna hold off on Rhonda again. Rhonda's the closer. Not that it... All right, Sonya. If you roll 2 more 6s, you're fired. Got a hit. And it's the death blow. All right. All right. Sonya hits like a truck. So 3, 4, 5. He only needs a 4 to wound. Oh. I knew it. I knew it. Show me a 4. God damn it, Sonya. Larry? Larry, can you do it? No. Rhonda? No. Okay. Well, let's roll for this thing again. Nope. Close that time. Larry's going to take a couple more attacks. Larry's going to take 2 hits. Body and head. He's got to dodge that body. Has not gotten a single survival back. Okay. I don't trust you anymore, Sonya. We're going to let Rhonda give it a shot. That's a hit. That's a fail. It's 2 hits. Body and hands. How does that feel? Not great. Not great at all. That's a 10 to the hands. Okay. Knockdown? We'll take that. Already knocked down. Okay. At what point do we just throw this fucking founding stone? All right, Sonya. I'm giving you another chance. You colossal screw up. I just need Larry to be in a position. Cool. All right. Yeah. All right, closest threat facing in range. Ah, shit. Facing. I should have paid attention. That is Sonya. It's okay. He'll just run over Priscilla, but not deal any damage. That's okay. She was already knocked down. Two hits. Body and hands. Okay. Sonya, you did that to yourself. Rhonda will stand up. I just don't want to waste a founding stone on this. We're so close. I'm not doing it. Committing. One hit. Rhonda, 1 damage to her waist. Sonya, 1 damage to his waist. Ignores armor. Whose attack was that? I'm checking out. Jesus. That was Larry's attack, right? I'm pretty sure that was Larry's attack, and that was the end of the round. All right. Well, I'm clearly losing it. I'm getting frustrated, so let's make it through one more round. Yeah, that had to have been Larry's attack. Two hits. Head and hands. All right, well, we got armor there. That's nice. And we're taking the light. And I just don't have weapons. All right, we're going to take one last shot with Sonya. Let's make him a little safe just in case. If this doesn't work, we're just going to throw a founding stone. It did not work. All right, so who's got a founding stone? Rhonda does not, so it has to be Larry. So we're just going to finish off. Critical wound. Monster dribbles viscous blood. All survivors in the vomit zone can +3 insanity. All right. Well, better than nothing. Oh my god, the end of that fight was just a slog. I just could not deal a wound to save my life. God, I need bones. I need bones so badly. This game without proper weapons is just brutal. All right, so we get 1 XP, 4 and 4, and we get Negredo. Priscilla, you're dead. Why am I looking at you? Larry gets an XP. Sonya gets an XP. He will age up. Doesn't really have a weapon proficiency worth mentioning. And Rhonda will get an XP. So let's age up our boy Sonya, despite the fact he's never hunting again because of fear of the dark. With a 5, 1 permanent strength. All right. Let's draw our cards. A bone! Another perfect hide. Jeez. Another love juice and a broken lantern. And then from our Gorm, a stout kidney, a meaty rib. That's a good one. Hardened or handed skull and a stout hide. Okay. So figure that out. Also got to go find our Negredo. Then while I'm here, I'll grab the Albedo. So Albedo goes in there. Negredo comes here. So we get +1 to our survival limit, which is nice. And we don't really do anything else with that. And then where's the frickin' Gormery come from? Yeah, add Gormery and Gormchemist. Okay. So the two of you can come with me. Gormery and Gormchemist. That's right. I think I put him over here last time. Go ahead and grab those decks now, too. That's right. It's all... I got to deal with that offline because it's all clustered into one deck. We're not going to really do anything at the Gormchemist this year, I don't think. Yeah, unlikely we're going to do anything at the Gormchemist this year. All right, Survivors Return. We get 3 more endeavors. Not 100% sure what we're going to do with all those. Update our timeline. So Endless Screams does not happen since we don't have the Antelope. We do still have to draw a random one. Oh my god. All right, so this was the thing that screwed up campaign 1. I know how to deal with this now. All right, so we're picking 4 nobodies. Just grab all of our dice. Okay. So the settlement engages in games of skill. Each player nominates a different survivor. When you're playing with solo, my understanding is you just pick 4 survivors. Every nominated survivor determines their score for each possible contest. Survivor score determines their place. Settlement only has 1 survivor. Do not roll. They realize that they have been competing against themselves and gain a bunch of stuff. All right, so starting off with the race. So again, everybody has the exact same stats since they're all blank slates. So we've got an 8, a 1, a 5, and a 7. So first place, +1 permanent movement, +1 per lifetime. Cool. We will make note. Race contest. Second place, +1 courage. Third place, pair of rawhide boots. Neat. Forgot about that. And fourth place, the torn Achilles. Where is that? I guess it's not recorded on the character sheet. Whoopsie. Go to severe injuries, torn Achilles. Da, da, da. Oh, like literally nothing. Skip the next hunt. Okay. Noted. I'm actually going to record that just in case I forget. Okay, next up, debate contest. We've got a 4, a 3, a 6, and a 4. So 6 is first place. Gain a skull. That's actually going to be super helpful. And then we have 2 second places with 2 4s. They each gain an understanding. And then the way I rule this, since we had 2 second places, we do not have a 3rd place. We have a 4th place. Because that's how competitions are supposed to work. Apathetic. So this one kind of sucks. Yeah. So basically this person is stuck at home for quite a while. Probably forever. And then finally the fight contest. 8. You need to not lose or you're in trouble. 10. Okay. 3. And a 1. Okay. So first place, +1 weapon proficiency. That doesn't matter. Second place, +1 permanent strength. So this is actually going to be a really good survivor. Six movement, extra strength. Yeah. Third place is you, a random fighting art. Last man standing. Nice. And fourth place, dismembered arm. I think that's -1 strength. Oh, just you only have 1 arm. That's fine, actually. Just can't use 2-handed weapons. Can still use 2 one-handed things. So a weapon and a shield or something like that. Just no 2-handed. That's fine. So where I screwed myself in campaign 1 was I did not read, and I thought it had to be the 4 returning survivors. So I was bringing back developed survivors that had like good fighting arts, really good stats, and I was screwing myself. Like 2 of my best survivors in that entire campaign, because I drew this like 2 years in a row, or like two out of 3 years, something like that. It was terrible. 2 of my best survivors that I ever had in the settlement both got apathetic, which sucked. And then I think I had somebody with spear proficiency, like leveled up reasonably well, get the dismembered arm. So like I absolutely bricked that campaign from 2 triathlons of death. I it was tragic. But we made it through that one. However, we still have a Gorm climate we got to go find. All right. Add the Gorm climate to next year. Roll a d10. All my d10s are over here now. With a 10. Okay, settlement has storytelling. Nope. Settlement struggles against the quaking ground, linking arms to brace themselves against the storm. Nominate a survivor with no hunt XP. They draw strength from the settlement's determination and gain +1 courage. All right, so I think that's going to be... We got these guys, but we also had some good ones over here. Do we do dismembered arms? They already have 1 courage. Now, I think we take one of our juiced survivors, one of our original parents, and give them the courage. All right, not bad, not bad. Update our death count. We did have another death. Also, make sure we check those off. Nowhere near 15 population. Not quite at 5. 5 innovations is coming, but not that soon. And now we can develop. All right, so let's bring our stuff over. So love juice, we're probably going to hold on to. I mean, it is an organ. We might use it for an organ, but unlikely. Broken lantern. I don't think we're going to get anything out of that. And again, with Gorm climate, holding on to the perfect hide is too risky. But we can make some Gorm goodies. What can we make? So with a stout kidney, it's not worth trying to work on the Gorm set yet. I would want a second rawhide before I start working on a Gorm. So we have the meaty rib. Meaty rib and a hide to make the rib blade is huge. So I think that's what we do here. I think we use the meaty rib and the stout hide to make the rib blade, because rib blade is friggin' awesome. And then kidney, I don't think we use the kidney for anything other than the armor. And since that piece takes 3 stout hides, we're not making that anytime soon. It basically, I don't think it's worth to start even trying to craft this until you're hunting level 2 Gorms. So nothing else. The handed skull. Can we get anything from that? That's for the mask. So otherwise it's just a bone. Which that's fine. So what we got? We got bone, hide, bone, organ, bone. No, we need weapons. I don't think I'm going to innovate. I can't make a monster grease. I need 2 organs for that. Not turning the love juice into a monster. Or am I? Because we have Gorm climate. I might turn the love juice into a monster grease. I mean, just double check. Nothing we can do here, right? No mammoth hand. Gax isn't worth making. No dense bone. No jiggling lard. None of this stuff. Well, I mean, we have the stout kidney, but I'm not holding on to it. If we ever get a pure bulb, definitely going to try to make a riot mace. I think one of these is like a level 3 exclusive. No stout heart, no stout vertebra, no acid gland. And that's level 3 only. All right, so nothing directly Gorm related we can make. So we got bones. We need weapons. Do I make a bone axe? I think that's the play. Yeah, bone axe, bone blade. All right, I think that's worth. Probably start working on our second rawhide. Rawhide headband. Do I make another bone blade? Or a skull helm? Might as well make the skull helm. Still got all these innovations too. Probably should have thought about that. I mean, nothing worth. Again, I just not worth innovating this year is my decision. So I'll take a rawhide headband. I'll take a bone axe, a bone blade, and a skull helm. So we've stabilized our weapon situation. Because we'll have dart, fist and tooth, bone axe, bone blade, rib blade. That's not bad. I think Rhonda came through okay, right? Yeah, Rhonda got Ghostly Beauty is not great. But I think we can work with it for now. Because she's just too valuable to not use. All right. What am I going to spend these friggin' endeavors on? Yeah. That wasn't worth doing this year. Do we just... I think we just start leveling some people up. I was like, it's not worth doing augury. I can make some stone noses too. All right, so I've got 3 people who I need to get XP on. At the very least. Yeah, you 3. So the 3 of you are going to shared experience. Nominate a survivor that has 2 or more hunt XP. That was, I believe, Sonya. Yep, Sonya. Sonya is too scared to ever go back out and hunt again. So he's going to share that. Oh, I also have this. Do I want to risk this on somebody? Do we have somebody we're okay with parting with? I say we have a dismembered arm person do that. So if they die, it's not a huge loss. If they don't die, they become a pretty good tank. Let's do it. Nice. Another +1 evasion. It's the game. There's always going to be some gambling. Nice. All right. Good one. Good one. All right. We're in a good place. I'm feeling good. So we've got a solid team right here. Rhonda continuing to be just a fist and tooth monster. And then we've got 3 people with a natural +2 strength. One of them has 6 movement. And then 1 person with a natural +2 evasion. I'm actually feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. So yeah, we're going to take all 4 of these people. We're going to spend 4 endeavors. Oh, come on. And have Sonya give each of them a hunt XP. They still need names and genders and all that. I know one of them's a male, one of them's a female. Other than that, I got to sort all that out. That's an offline task. We've got 1 more endeavor, and we're probably just going to spend it to make a stone nose. There's nothing else worth using them on right now. Start innovating next year. Need to start working on some monster grease. Probably a lucky charm. If we could get a lucky charm on Rhonda, that would be insane. Okay. We probably put the lucky charm on our rib blade user, at least for now, because it's hard to get that left blue. I think the wisdom potion has that too, but we're nowhere near that. All right, so that's gonna wrap us up. We've got Gorms for days, well, literal years. So year 3 is a Gorm. Year 4, I mean, next stream is gonna be years 2 and 3. Both of those are Gorms. Stream after that, we've got another Gorm because we're not hunting the butcher, and then shit goes down in year 5. So next stream should be pretty straightforward, but then stick around after that because things are going to get real exciting after. So that's going to wrap us up here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me tonight. As a reminder, you can always find the VODs over on YouTube, usually up within a day or 2 of the stream. And YouTube folks, thank you very much for everything over there. If you always want to check in the description, you can find the link to the Twitch channel where these will be live just about every Friday. Coming up near the end of October, might miss a stream or 2, but until then, should be good to go. And then, fingers crossed, next week we'll have the new overlay live. I've been kind of dragging my feet on that, so probably should, kind of a good thing that we're being forced into it at this point. So thank you everybody very much for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next week.